Ah. It's not a bad look today, hopefully y'all can hear me. If anyone can hear me. If anyone shows up. It is about 4 o'clock on the East Coast. I don't know. I don't know what anyone's doing at any time, guys. You know that? You know, I might just end up holding the fucking phone. Honestly. To be perfectly honest. As usual, I will share this live and feeling my friends. To be honest, I actually want to switch headphones because I'm self-conscious. I'm not using the right one, so 1 sec. I feel like the mic on these headphones is better. Honestly. I've got about an hour before I have to go pick up one first. You know, I wanted to talk about some shit. And I don't really want to talk about any shit until I get at least like one eye in the room. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I suppose I should decline now. Why? Right? Let's see here. Now, I know Facebook hates me, but like, how much does Facebook hate me? Facebook hates me enough to not even show my video right now. Oh wait, there it is. Ha. I was presumptuous. Alright, guys. I'm gonna tag some friendos. And I should put my video so I can do things. So I can do shit. But as good as it's gonna get. Wow. Is it? I'll take it. listen here, Facebook, stop telling me how to live my life. Stop telling me how to live my life. I don't want to rotate my phone. I want it to be at this weird, odd angle because I can't put my phone down because I don't have a phone stand. Okay, so look, I'm going to share this post. I'm going to tag one friend and then I'm going to try to put my phone down. Um, let's attack trying to put the phone down again. Right. Honestly, that's where we're good. That's where we're at. That's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at, guys. That's as good as I get. Until I get a fucking phone stand. Uh, so, what that title, is about how over the years I have dealt with holding myself to an impossibly high standard of productivity because of the stints that I've had in mental hospitals and treatment facilities and group homes. I have to do that every time I see Beth. I have to do that every time I see Beth. Every time I see Beth, I have to go because that's the only proper way to respond. When your friend shows up. It's so great to see you. So great to see you. So nice to see you. I was talking about I'm gonna put in some more names and stuff, but yes, so hey man, it's always so nice to see you. It's always so nice to see you. You make me so happy every time I see you. I'm typing more names in here, but it's talking about how the mental health industry, specifically group homes and treatment centers and facilities and those of the such, have irreparably damaged me, and how I have to now deprogram myself because of it, and the impossibly high standard that I hold myself to now that I'm no longer in care clinic or drink host home or Robert's Best Group Home or all those places that shaped me from the ages of 12 to 18 you know, Gender Youth Shelter, Covenant House, things of that, places of that nature. Um, the early 2000s, late 90s, mental health for teens was horrific, like movie horrific, like 1950s movie horrific. And if you were there, if you were there, part of it, I'm gonna tag some friends that maybe. Yeah. If you were there, you probably are really fucked up now. Hopefully, still here. I realized yesterday the impossibly high standard that I hold myself to. In like existing as a human, because those places place before America placed too much worth on productivity, treatment centers did. They base your worth on a point system and how much you can produce towards a good behavior or things of that nature, for things like phone calls and snacks and like human interactions. So like your room had to be clean. You had to be dressed a certain way. And you had to stand in lines all the time, and you had to ask for, you know, water at a certain hour. And you couldn't go outside at a certain time. And at 32, I'm still asking for permission in everything that I do. And if I don't ask for permission in everything that I do, I have to earn it. And nobody else is asking me to do that but me. Nobody else is asking that of me but me. I might think that. I might trick myself into believing that they are. But nobody else is asking those standards of me but me. And once you leave those facilities, every mode of therapy, every medication you get prescribed, every criteria to diagnose you is based on that same conditioning. The DSM is still trying to decondition itself from the 1950s, and we have to keep acting like it's not. So in turn, you get people like me who are just like, must be on good behavior all the time because somebody's watching. I don't know who's watching, but somebody's watching. Someone is going to bust into my apartment and say, hey, pick up those fucking crumbs or else you're going to go in the chokey. Like, yes, have a routine and conditioning. And they do that to keep unruly teenagers and so-called crazy people in line. Because we are seen as a threat to them and society. And the only other people that get treated that way are like criminals, basically. So you're basically taught that you're a criminal because you had mental illness, depending on the severity of your mental illness. So I have in turn conditioned myself into thinking I am inherently a burden or a criminal based on my mental health status, even if I don't believe that. Even if I don't believe that of others, I still hold myself to that standard. And even if you look in history books, if you go to jail, they're allowed to use you for slavery. So it's like I was telling my therapist today, um, I have to pretend that the world is not on actual literal fire and that I don't live where it is actually on literal fire. And I have to act like we're not in a pandemic and I'm not traumatized. Not, no. There's no asking questions about your treatment. And when you're in a facility, bad things happen to you when you ask questions about your treatment in a facility. Um, you do regularly see people dragged away. You do hear people crying in the night. You do see people dragged to the ground. You that's real. That it's actually it's an actual thing. They're not exaggerating in these movies. Um, it's real. Um, and you learn how to hey Kate, you learn how to assimilate lest you be thrown into a room with a kneeling mat. And I learned how to be the best behaved in every facility I went to. So now I'm the best behaved adult I know and the worst behaved adult I know because I knew how to break all those rules without getting caught too. Um, but I don't have to live that way anymore, right? Like I'm not supposed to have to live that way anymore, except that we are actually on literal fire and forced hysterectomies are happening and genocide is happening and shit like that. So I'm not here to be a downer, but I'm here to say that if you feel like you're losing your fucking shit and like, you know, relying on deities and drugs to get by, you're not wrong. It's America. Like, it's as bad as you think it is. It's actually as bad as you think it is. It's not a lie. It really is as bad as you think it is. So just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Do whatever the fuck you want. Because it's actually that bad. And what I'm here to say is, don't let it be that bad. You know what I mean? Fight them. Burn it to the fucking ground. All of it. Burn it to the fucking ground. All of it. Reagan! I'm okay. I'm fine. Reagan is amazing. That's all I have to say. Reagan is a comrade. It is fucked up bad. But I mean, like, it's no more fucked up than, like, cults or jails or ICE or, you know, um, I was in a mental health detention camp, you know, and not to downplay it, but like when you, I think it was Beth that shared that we are, America is the originator of abuse and torture. We are the blueprint. America is the blueprint. Um, so now, when I tell my friends to go get a therapist or to check into a hospital, I really can't. Um, I no longer so wholeheartedly recommend seeking mental health treatment because uh, 2020's mental health industry is not safe. America's mental health industry is not safe. It's not safe. It's very inhumane. It's very built to program and brainwash and condition and assimilate. Um, do a lot of research. Do a lot of research. Like, get to know your professional before staying with them, and avoid a mental hospital at all costs if you can. Um, if you feel like you're going to hurt yourself, call a friend that you trust. If you don't have a friend that you trust, call me. And if you don't have a friend that you trust, I promise you that you probably do. Um, if you feel like you're going to harm yourself, there's somebody out there who's going to help you better than a mental hospital. After 10, 20 plus visits, I would know. If you're black and you think that you want to go to crisis, don't. I repeat, if you are of color or black and you think that you want to go to crisis, or they say they want to get you evaluated, don't. Don't. They're going to find you deemed to get locked up. I have been transported to a mental hospital um, in handcuffs peacefully. I didn't do anything. It was just protocol that they put handcuffs on me. So just don't. Right now, you're the best, Kate. You're the best. I have to say these things because also, if you're talking to a mental health professional, never, ever, ever, ever tell them that you have a plan for suicide. Never, ever. You can say these words: I will not mortally harm myself. I will not actually kill myself. Say those words. Even if you are thinking that, don't tell them you have a plan. They will put you away. And once they put you away, they are in charge of how long you get to stay. And if they get to test medicine on you while you're there, you'll stay there longer. No, no worries, Bath. I would say to watch this later. I love you, Bath. Definitely watch it later on. It's good info. Um, I love you too. Um, I just feel like these are things that people need to know when when you're in crisis specifically for when you're in crisis, not just when you're seeking help. Uh, Specifically when your best you will have a better chance making a post on your Facebook than you would calling a hotline. I promise you. I promise you. If you have more than 100 people on your Facebook and you make a post saying, oh my God, I don't live anymore, I promise you, you'll get a better response than calling crisis in America. I promise you. Because right now it's not safe. It's if you're of color, and honestly, not for anything, anyone, but specifically if you're black, a woman, or of color, don't go to crisis. Don't call suicide hotline. They will track you and come find you. Um, Talk to a friend because these places right now are not trying to actually help you right now. And that is coming from someone who last month would have told you the opposite. But America's on fire, literally. And if you're someone who um, struggles with mental illness, I would ask you to, if you're just now coming here, to watch this over and do these things. Now is not the time to seek treatment from someone who is working on the books. If you're working with someone who staunchly follows the rules, you're working with the enemy. Because to staunchly follow the rules in America's mental health industry is to kill innocent uh, marginalized people. And that's how I know that I'm undoing the programming. You know what, Kate? Crying. For crying. And it's okay, you have to go. It's all right. For crying. For crying. For crying. The amount of people that I know who have been locked up for crying, who have had children taken away from them for crying, who have been mistreated, thrown into a room, left unattended for crying. Find someone you trust and you talk to them. If you have no one that you trust, send me a message and I'll find something. I'll figure something out. Because America is not trying to keep us alive. They're not. Not if you're a woman of color. They're not. If they find reason to believe that you are not using your if you're out of your mind or something like that, you're anxious, something of that nature, they will find a way to mistreat you. They'll find a way to use it against you. Right now, anyway. In Trump's America, especially, you're not safe. And that's not coming from like crazy aluminum hat land. That's just from literally like the last 20 years of my life. I've been in every subcategory of mental health, consumerism, this in this country, across 3 states, and it's always been the same. Until this entire empire is dismantled, harm will come to you if you don't find someone that you trust. Um, what do you do, right? What do you do if like you're actual harm to yourself? Worst come to worst, obviously, if you're in actual harm to yourself or others, you have to get help. Yes. Um, don't exhaust every option. Don't not exhaust every other option first. Exhaust every other option first. Twice. Twice. And I say twice because sometimes something might not go through that will go through next week. And when in doubt, ask your ancestors. Please ask your ancestors. Please talk to your ancestors. If you're not talking to your ancestors, you need to be. If you're not asking your ancestors for help, you need to be. And if you don't know how to do that, my initial thing is always to set out a tea light or candle of your choosing and a glass of water and ask, are you there? Are you there? Can I talk to you? What happens after that will be personal. It'll happen in your gut, on your TV, your phone will ring, something. It'll be personal to you. But that's my cue. And I will see you guys later on today. I love you guys.